sending Georgia to beam. And before we go back to action, let's check in once again with Darren Horton, who's got a touching story of a former gym dog.
Thanks, Bonnie. One of the most inspiring stories for the Georgia Gym Dogs this season is 23-year-old Talia Vexler. She graduated from Georgia last year. She was a member of their gymnastics team, a 3-time All-American. Shortly after she graduated, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And her story has not only been inspiring to Georgia, but to the entire collegiate gymnastic community. She's gotten thousands of letters all the way from Iowa to Utah down to Florida. And their arch rivals, the University of Alabama, actually raised $1,000 in Talia's name to fight cancer.
Such a touching story, Darren. Thank you. And just before this meet, Talia went through her first round of chemotherapy. Georgia, just to show Talia how much they wanted to support her, made up this nice t-shirt, brought it down to championships knowing that she would be here. Everybody in her corner, as they are for Sierra Staffenar. Current health issues for the Gym Dogs. She blew out her knee in the practice right before prelims. And Brittany Smith, the young lady replacing Staffenar on balance beam. Smith competing on beam 8 times prior to this performance, but Amanda, still, how much pressure is Brittany putting on herself, thinking, I'm filling in for a veteran like Sierra?
Well, putting a freshman in Sierra's spot says a lot about her as competitors. You can see right there, beautiful flight series. She has to be consistent and confident to fill those shoes, and she has to come out here and know that she can help Georgia to a solid performance on the beam.
The Gym Dogs, much like Alabama, a very young squad, but still year in and year out. Alabama coach Sarah Patterson, Georgia's Suzanne Yokelin, still having high expectations. It doesn't matter how young or old their teams are. They still expect to be at nationals at Super 6 every year.
Wolf jump, standing tuck, very solid. Just getting ready for the dismount. Round off 1.5. Fighting for every 10th there in that landing.
Suzanne Yokelin's got to be happy about that. We know Talia Vexler is. And a 9.875 for Georgia's Brittany Smith. Alabama coming off a bye. Sarah Patterson, the Tide's 21st straight appearance at these championships, and Patterson hoping her squad fares a little better than Utah and Nebraska did on bars. And here is Kristin Sterner, the Tide's only senior.
Opening with a full twisting Tkachev. She's actually going to come back with a regular Tkachev right there. 2 huge releases. She's going to be performing a dismount that we haven't seen in this competition. She's going to switch directions. Right here, double front. Very difficult landing, but she did that beautifully.
Kristin recently honored by the SEC with the Conference Scholar Athlete of the Year award. She has a 3.92 GPA in biology. She dissected that routine, didn't she? I don't remember the last time I used that line. Sterner with a 9.9. Outstanding performance on bars. Another great student in the classroom, Kinsey Rowe, in progress on beam.
She has beautiful lines, showing great flexibility on her switch sleep straddle jump.
Kinsey, one of the select students at Georgia, enrolled in the school's exclusive honors program. She too is a biology major.
Getting ready to dismount. Round off double full. Beautiful.
Kinsey Rowe, the junior out of Houston, Texas. And a score for Kinsey, a 9.9. And Amanda, we hear that Pink Panther music in the background, so we know who's up on floor, right?
That's right, hometown favorite. AJ Lamb, beautiful double pike. The
hometown girl, always the crowd pleaser. Gymnastics Safe to say it's a family affair for the Lambs. AJ's two older sisters, Alicia and Erica, were also gymnasts here. Sister Mandy is this year's team manager. AJ leads off on 2 events for the Huskers, on vault and on beam. And Dan Kendig just talked about how unselfish a gymnast she is. A lot of times the table setter may get the lowest score because the scores tend to progress upward. AJ never complained.
Last tumbling pass. Front layout, front layout. Beautiful form.
Nebraska hoping to break into the top 3 here at Super 6 for the first time. The best they've ever placed is 4th. Routines like AJ Lamb's certainly contributing. And the score for the senior, a 9.925 for Lamb on Floor X. But the Huskers are not done yet. This year's Floor X champion, Rochelle Simpson, lies ahead as the 2003 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships continues in just a moment. Larissa Stewart, one of Alabama's 7 talented freshmen, up on bars.
Mounting right onto the high bar as she shoots down.
Sarah had said with all the young girls on the team, she really went back to basics this year. She said, I gave them lessons on time management. I gave them daily planners. I work with them on how to study exams.
Getting ready for the dismount. Beautiful double layout.
And she also said many of these young girls have never had to make decisions before. A lot of them are homeschooled, really a limited class time. So we needed to talk to them quite a bit about really studying for the college curriculum. And a 9.9 recognizes that too, Amanda. So Cassie Bair up next for the Dogs on Beam, an All-American last year on this event.
This is her final routine of the competition. Starts off showing great strength and flexibility here in the reverse planche.
And this is really where Cassie shines. This is her best event. We mentioned she walked on the Georgia native, and initially she was just hoping to break the lineup, particularly on beam, because that's where she really felt her strong suit was, and it certainly is.
Getting ready for a flight series. Back handspring, back handspring layout. Very nice.
You'll see she's got a little brace on her right knee. That's an injury she's been working through for quite a while. But at this time of the year, everybody's got bumps and bruises.
Well, you'll notice it's not her dominant leg. She's sleeping on the other leg. That is very helpful. And if it's going to affect anything, again, it's going to be the dismount. Doing a round up double full, just looking for a clean landing. Great job.
Suzanne Yockland calling Cassie the best walk-on in the history of Georgia gymnastics. So you see she's in pain right there. She's hobbling a little bit. Alabama relying on some of its freshmen to keep the heat on UCLA. This is Bair on the bars for the tie.
Giant blind, right into a pike Jaeger.
Mari's from San Jose, California, and Sarah Patterson said the first thing she said when Coach called her was, how long do you plan on being there? Because I really don't want to come all the way across the country only for you to leave.
Very solid routine.
And Sarah said, you know what, I've been here for 25 years. I don't think I'm going anywhere. Alabama keeping the heat on Georgia for second, and UCLA for the top spot with a 9.9 on bars. Utah's Teresa Kulikowski emerging from the training room after suffering that heartbreaking shoulder injury on bars. Utah closing out this year's championships on vault with Annabeth Eberle.
Yurchenko full, great height. Again, holding that landing, showing everybody she stuck it.
Mom Bindi has something to cheer about, as do the youths who are really looking to end this meet on a high note. And a 9.95 for Annabeth Eberle will certainly pave the way for that. As we move to floor, and Rochelle Simpson, this year's national floor champion.
Beautiful second tumbling pass, full front layout right into a double stag jump.
Here's something interesting. In the Nebraska media guide, Rochelle talks about the 2 things she'd like to do after college. 1, work for Cirque du Soleil. 2, work for the United Nations. Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum there. Rochelle posturing for the latter, though, is a double major in French and international studies.
You can hear the crowd clapping in the background. There's no better feeling than to perform on floor in front of your hometown crowd. She only has 1 more tumbling pass to go. Ending with a very difficult whip through to double pipe. Great landing.
Rochelle Simpson has had 6 10s this year, 3 on floor. And to put it into perspective, before this year, Nebraska's team had 5 total in the history of the program. And a 9.95 for Simpson. From elation to devastation, Utah senior Teresa Kulikowski realizing her dream of the national championship will not come true. After 5 rotations, Georgia and Utah have completed their 4 events. UCLA, looking at the averages on the Pontiac scoreboard, spreading its lead from Alabama. And the Bruins march back on when we return from their bye. Alabama heading to Beam to determine who will reign supreme at the 2003 Women's Gymnastics Championships.